Yo, what is up guys? I'm bringing you a brand new video, and this time we're talking about whether you should get Tet Blackstar weapons on your character, or whether you should get Pen Boss Gear, aka Pen Zarka, or Pen Dandy on your character. Now, typically this is a question that a lot of people have in my stream, because once you go from Tuvala Pen, you're probably going to buy one or the other of these weapons. But before we can discuss the differences between the weapons, I need to teach you guys how to calculate your AP. It's not really explicitly stated anywhere other than patch notes, but this is going to be interesting just as an FYI in justifying why I choose what I choose for whether you're Succession or whether you're Awakening in this video. So the way that the AP is calculated is, let's say that you are playing a Succession class. If you play Succession, the most important stat is your attack AP instead of your Awakening AP. And the reason for that is, here's how you calculate the damage. You take 304, which is your sheet AP, and you add on the amount of brackets that you've hit along the way. So for example, if you have 272 AP and you gain one more AP, the bracket you get is 6 more AP. So every time you hit 273, 277, 281, every time you hit those breakpoints, you get an extra 6 AP on top of that as hidden damage. So 188 is the cumulative amount of hidden damage you've gained from hitting specific brackets along the way. So your main hand AP is 304 plus 188, and then you also get 30% of the sheet AP in your Awakening. So in this case, it is 30% of 306. So it's 304 plus 188 plus 30% of 306, and that's how much damage you do as a Succession class. Now, if you are an Awakening class, however, a lot of your damage typically comes from, obviously, your Awakening. And it's calculated the same way. 306 plus 196 and 30% of the 304. You do not include the 188 when calculating your Awakening damage. So now that you know how to calculate damage, you can really, as a concept, see how, if you play Succession, having higher AP in your main hand is so important compared to your Awakening, because if you gain 10 AP in your Awakening, you're really only getting about 3 extra damage, like 3. Whereas if you gain 10 damage in your main hand, 10 AP in your main hand, you'll have hit 2 new brackets along the way, and so you would have gained 10 AP plus you would have gained another, let's say, 12 AP. You would have gained 22 total damage in that particular case. So AP is so much more important in your main hand when you're a Succession, and AP is so much more important in your Awakening when you're Awakening. So let's move on to the differences between Zarka and Blackstar. So a Tet Blackstar and a Pen Zarka roughly cost the same amount of money. A Kafra's up Zarka with level 1 is equal in AP to a Blackstar at Tet. Now, if you play a Succession class, because your main hand damage matters so much, if you are a PvP player in any capacity, I really recommend getting the Zarka Axe. It's going to allow you to put in Kafras levels incrementally. Every 2 levels, you're going to get an AP. And so what's going to end up happening is let's say that you hit 304 AP, you can then just add on 2 levels of Kafras to hit 305, and you've then gained a new bracket, which is very, very meaningful, as we've just discussed, right? So Zarka allows a lot more flexibility in hitting new brackets compared to Blackstar. Whereas Blackstar, it's a very all or nothing item. It's either you have 122 to 128, or boom, you hit Pen, and it's 131 to 137. You can't incrementally gain accuracy and AP along the way. So if you fall short of a bracket, you can't just boost it up a little bit. You will have to buy entirely new accessory, or you'll have to do a new journal, or you're basically a lot more limited in getting AP in your main hand, which is so important as a Succession class. Now, the same is true if you play an Awakening class. So a Pen Dandy level 1 Kafras is the same as a Tet Blackstar. It has the exact same AP. It's got the exact same accuracy, but basically, if you play Awakening, you're probably going to want to choose to have a Dandy because of that flexibility of adding in Cafris levels. Now, if you're a pure PvE player, one thing you'll notice about Blackstar stuff is that it's always going to have more monster damage than boss gear. So you'll see that this is a cumulative 23 in terms of species and monster damage compared to 12 species damage. So it's almost got twice as much compared to the Dandy. And the same is similarly true in Blackstar Axe versus Zarka Axe. This has 35 in total species and monster, whereas this has 49. So you're getting a pretty big monster benefit out of having Blackstar stuff. So my ultimate recommendation is for a PvP player, if you play Succession, you should choose Zarka as your main hand with a Blackstar Awakening because you get the extra monster damage and the AP just doesn't really matter whether you hit a bracket or not. If you play an Awakening class, however, I recommend the Dandelion with a Blackstar main hand so that you can take advantage of the monster damage while also taking advantage of the Cafris ability of the Dandy. Now, let's say that all you ever do is PvE. If you only PvE and that's all you're interested in, then you may as well get double Blackstar. But in the case that you are interested in PvPing, I really think that your main damage source, whether that be Awakening or Succession, you should choose to have a boss gear in that main source. And in your non-primary source, get the Blackstar for the extra monster damage. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The differences between whether you should build Blackstar or not. By the time you get up to Pen, the difference between a C20 Dandy and a Fiery Blackstar, or a Blackstar versus a C20 Zarka, they're identical items, except you get a lot more monster damage with the Blackstar for a very, very small species damage cost. It's 2 species damage difference between the two of them. And so at Pen, I think Blackstars are best in slot. But when deciding between Tet Blackstar and Pen on your Zarka and Dandy, this is what I would go for. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this made a lot of sense. I know it was a little bit confusing, but I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks so much for taking the time. If you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.